one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
Y'all be asking that same question, how does it feel when we lose, bro? How do you think? You know what I'm saying? I gotta come up with another question than asking how does it feel when we lose, bro. I'm tired of hearing that.
Welcome back to another episode of The Recap. Yo, what's up, man? How's everybody out there doing? I got a toboggan on, man. It's toboggan season, but I got a toboggan. I ain't even wearing a toboggan the right way. But it's no right way to wear a toboggan. Unless I just see you wearing it the wrong way. It's really no right way to wear it, but I'm wearing a toboggan. Because over the last week or so, my ears been cold as hell. Like, unbelievably cold. I don't understand it, to be completely honest with you. There's no rhyme or reason for my ears to be as cold as they are. But we're not here to talk about my ears. Week 6. Now, usually I say it's come, it's gone, but it hasn't. We still got Monday Night Football around the corner, but a lot has happened in week 6. We got a lot to talk about tonight on the show. I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. One moment. Somebody walked in on me while I was recording and tried to ask me some. We're moving on. Anyways, week 6 in the NFL, we got a lot to talk about. We got the Jets to talk about, the firing of Rob Saleh. Monday Night Football game happens tonight that involves the Jets. So we got that to talk about. We got the Seahawks and 49ers Thursday night game to recap. And of course, we got these Sunday games that we also need to recap. But I actually want to start the show by talking about something that has absolutely nothing to do with football. So, I just want to say I'm done with baseball. Officially. I'm not watching that shit no more. I'm reading a headline right now that say Glorilla speaks on Sexy Red collab Damian Lillard plus more. Yo, they really dragging that, yo. If Dame and Glow was together, bro, like I really wish I really wish people learning mind their own fucking business. I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. Why is that a headline? I don't. Anyways, I just saw that and it just threw me for a loop. I got distracted. But listen, I was watching, as I do so often, I was watching SNL season 50. Now listen to me. Season 50 of SNL, it gotta be great. I'm talking about, now the season done started off decent. I don't think none of the episodes done been 10 out of 10s yet. However, they have been decent, good. I don't want to say decent. Decent make it sound like it ain't that good. It's been good episodes. However, I'm still waiting. It's only been 3 episodes that's done been released for season 50. But I am waiting for that episode that just really hit hard. And it's not about the guest name. I don't care about like how popular the guest is. Cause it be some of them guests that you don't expect to have some of the best shows on SNL. Now I know a lot of people listening to this. Oh, he watches SNL. Listen, SNL is a great show to me. Do they have episodes that don't hit? Absolutely. A lot of sketch TV shows and live comedies, and we don't even got to be talking about comedies. You can talk about any type of TV show. All shows don't hit. All seasons don't hit. Every episode of a season does not hit. I be seeing, like, I'll go on when I used to watch SNL through YouTube, because I really just watch it through Peacock now. I just watch the whole episode instead. Even though you can go back and watch like the whole episode through just the clips on YouTube. But if you go to the comment section and you see how people be roasting SNL, it really don't make sense to me. I understand not liking something, but what I don't understand is hate watching something. It be the same niggas in the comments that was there last week and the week before that talking about, oh, the show not good no more. It's not what it used to be. Bro, who is forcing you to keep watching this shit? Like, nobody is forcing you to continuously sit down and watch SNL, yo. I would hope nobody is putting a gun to your head or putting you in a LL situation where you got to sit down and lose your life or watch SNL. I would not imagine that is happening right now. I do not believe SNL is a form of torture for somebody right now, but I could be wrong. But I like SNL. And I was watching SNL, and I'm about to say something that's very, in a lot of people's mind, mean. Even in my mind, it's pretty mean. And I mean no harm. But what I'm about to say is absolutely mean. And I could stop myself from saying what I'm about to say, but I'm not. My mind already done made up that it's going to come out when it come out. But I do want to preference it by saying, this is some mean shit, unnecessarily mean shit that I'm about to say. Kind of like that interception that Andy Dalton threw yesterday in the Panther game. Hella unnecessary. What I'm about to say is unnecessary. I was watching SNL, the latest episode. Ariana Grande. It is no way she looked good naked. It's no way. Now I know a lot of people heard that and say he objectifying women, or why did he say that? He didn't have. I'm just telling you a thought that popped up in my head. Ariana Grande looked like she 50 pounds of bones. Like, it looked like if a strong gust of wind picked up, it would blow her away. And I'm not making fun of Ariana Grande for being skinny or anything like that. She might actually have a condition or something, even though I don't think she does. I haven't heard of it. But then again, that's her personal life, yo. So if she do have a condition and don't want to tell nobody, good for her, because it ain't our business. It definitely ain't my business, so you definitely don't have to tell me. But, if somebody was like, yo, you shouldn't be talking about her being skinny because she got this and that, then I would, what I'm saying? I'd be like, my bad. I did not know she had that disease. Like, I don't like it when people talk crazy about Selena Gomez, basically, and say like, oh, look at her fat ass and yada, yada. Not fat ass and like she got a fat ass. But people be calling her fat and shit like that because sometimes she get a little big. But that's because I think she got lupus. I didn't even know lupus did that, but she got lupus. I think it's lupus that she have. And so it make her gain weight at times and shit like that. And people be dogging her for it. And I'm like, what the fuck is she supposed to do about that? You know what I'm saying? But that's really the world with these beauty standards. Like Selena Gomez should look like this at all times. I'm not saying it. And you know, I mean, I kind of feel like, here comes some gaslighting. I kind of feel like I'm in the right now. Cause I'm not even trying to perpetuate these crazy beauty standards that the world has on these women. Like, I think Ariana Grande could stand to gain some weight. I don't know who was walking around telling Ariana Grande that her looking like she weighed 50 pounds of just straight bones and like a skeleton, that's attractive. Maybe she think it's attractive. Maybe the circle that she run with think it's attractive. I don't know. I don't think it's that attractive. I literally was watching SNL thinking to myself, it's no way Ariana Grande look good naked, yo. Like, she don't got... I ain't even gonna say the whole thought. Because I don't want to... Because then it's gonna really sound like I'm objectifying women. But this is what I'll say. She just look weird to me right now. Because she just looks so anorexic, so skinny, like she don't eat, even though I know she got the money if she wanted to eat. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this Ariana Grande look. Like, and I know some people out there. I was talking to somebody the other day. And we was talking about Nickelodeon kids. Not Nickelodeon kids, but like the child stars, like who the top singers. And it wasn't nothing crazy. It was like we was thinking about who was the best singers or who got the most successful career coming out of these like Nickelodeon and Disney's shows. And when we got to Ariana Grande, I just remember my homie saying, "You fuck with Ariana?" I was like, I think Ariana is a great actress. I was like, and she can sing her ass off. I was like, but she just not for me. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, I just don't find her that attractive. I think she like skinny as hell, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not trying to go at Ariana Grande. I'm not trying to talk crazy about Ariana Grande, but I was watching SNL and I had some thoughts. That's it. As a matter of fact, I'm hopping off of the Ariana Grande conversation, bro. Because I know she got a big fan base. I don't want them to catch wind of this. You know what I'm saying? Canceling and shit like that is not something that I care too much about. I'm talking about I don't want to deal with the comments and constant. Because, see, one thing that I'm very... one thing that'll irritate me real quick is hearing people trying to argue about something that I just absolutely have no desire or care about. I have no desire to talk about it, and I got no care to really be debating it. So stuff like arguing about a celebrity, what a celebrity like or don't like. My God, I don't give a fuck what you like. I mean, what this celebrity like or don't like. Why am I having a conversation about their intimate likes and dislikes? I don't know this nigga. So I get irritated when people talk about celebrities like they was sitting there, like they sitting right beside them and shit like that. I'm like, yo, y'all, just so weird. But I'm just making an observation of Ariana Grande. Now, I was watching the episode 3 of season 50 of Ariana Grande. Well, it's not called of Ariana Grande, of SNL, but the host being Ariana Grande. I haven't been a fan of none of the musical guests on season 3 so far either. Now, that might be because I think I did like one of the guests. I take that back. One of the episodes I did like one of the musical guests, but it wasn't the Coldplay episode and it wasn't the Ariana Grande one. So it must have been the first or second one because I think we on like episode 3 or 4. If we on episode 3, then I didn't like the last 2 performances and it was the first one. If we on episode 4, then I don't know if it was the first or second one. But I rock with Coldplay. Wasn't really feeling either of the songs Coldplay performed. I don't even know who the musical guest. I can't remember her name. I had never heard of her before. The one who performed on Ariana Grande's host night. One thing I will say about Ariana Grande, if she has not already been 5 Club, I don't think she has, because they would have said something. They would have done the whole little thing where you host SNL like 5 times, I think it is. She definitely gonna enter that club because Ariana Grande, every time she hosts SNL, it's a good little episode of SNL. I like SNL. The Bill Hader days, you know, they have some. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you why I think most people don't like SNL. A lot of people is not diversifying their life. And what do I mean when I say that? You know, when I grew up, to me, funny was Cat Williams, his stand-up, Steve Harvey stand-up, Bernie Mac. You know, the black goats, excluding Kevin Hart. I don't consider him a black goat. Actually, you know what? I give him a GOAT title. Any black comedian that I thoroughly enjoyed growing up, I get him that title. But I don't put nobody over Steve and Bernie. However, that's what I found funny. And for a long time, that's all I found funny. But then I started to diversify my portfolio. In a sense, I started to watch other comedians and things like that. I started to watch other shows. And so I started to find, oh, it's actually some white people that I find entertaining, that I find funny. It's some white brands of comedy that I find funny. They can make me laugh. The problem is you got black people who don't like white comedy who don't like black comedy. I've never seen a Mexican. Oh, never mind. I'm tripping. Mexicans who don't like white comedy or black comedy, they only like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we got to learn to diversify our portfolios. And I'm not saying you should be entertained by racist jokes and shit. Like, I get that 100%. Because I got a homie who don't listen to white comedians because he don't want to hear a white comedian say nothing crazy about a black person because he don't find it funny. So I get that. However, it is like Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a good comedian. And it ain't even just about like stand-up comedians. Like, I love Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell makes me laugh. There is different. I feel like you should just experience all type. Like, if you watch only one type of movie, diversify your portfolio. Look at something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to one type of music, diversify your portfolio. Listen to some other shit. Listen. I'm as big a hip hop. I'm really just a big music guy. Like football, sports, music. Really big into that. Not nowhere near as big into music as far as like learning the history. And I don't really want to say it like that because I do music history. But it's like I'm not as in tune with music as I am with the NFL and sports. Like, I'm not listening for the newest track from an artist every time I sit down. Sometimes a new track will come out and I won't hear that shit for like a month, sometimes a year, because I don't listen to the radio. I don't really look at TV with music shows and shit like that. I'm more of I listen to my iPod or my iPhone, the music on my iPhone. Like, I'm like most people who use the aux or the Bluetooth feature. Like, and I don't use Spotify and stuff like that where it's like playing just random songs. I play the songs that I want to hear, even if I got to go to YouTube to do it. I'm not trying. Now, it is times where I'm chilling at night. I might be getting done recording, playing a game or something, and I might just throw on a playlist off of YouTube. I might select a random playlist on YouTube so I can hear some new shit that I ain't heard before. Other than that, though, expand your portfolio, man. Like, listen to a little bit of everything. Look at a little bit of everything. Like, that's how you become a well-rounded human being. You get out there and experience some things. You might think the things that you hate right now, you don't actually hate them. You hated the experience that you had with them that first time or that second time, but you don't actually hate the thing. Maybe it was the people who was around you while you was experiencing certain things. I don't know. I'm not here to be your father. But what I am here to do is to tell you to diversify your portfolio. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing people say, oh, I hate S and now some people just bitter and they just hate to hate. Like, it's a account on Twitter that's just specifically built for hating. And in my opinion, a human being that dedicate his or her life to being a internet troll or a internet hater, that is a sad reality. That is a sad life. And I know Twitter paying motherfuckers. I don't know how much Twitter pay motherfuckers for these posts and stuff. But what I will say is this. To wake up every day just to go hate on some motherfuckers, you couldn't pay me to live a life like that. That's what makes a motherfucker who hate on everybody happy. Seeing other people fail. But then that's my thing. What do it do for a hateful motherfucker to see somebody else fail? I know misery love company, but if you don't even know these motherfuckers, like, they misery is not even, you not even linked in with their misery. You just hating on them from a distance. Like, when I really be wondering to myself, like, when motherfuckers lose their job and shit, do miserable people throw parties? Like, I don't get it. Like, I I saw this nigga get on Twitter today, and that Twitter account, NBA Centel, which I hate that account, and I wish they would delete it because I just think niggas like that. Like I said, bro, I'm gonna get to something else that I saw today too that really disgusted me. Oh, disgusted me. But and I saw this in NBA Centel post this morning, where a dude was talking about why I might post it on here, why KD is single, why he's still single and play ball. It was a lie. I don't understand how these type of accounts exist where they can just go around lying on people. And people are supposed to just know that that's a lie because it's NBA Centel, not Central. But some people not going to pay attention to nothing like that. But this white dude got on Twitter. And this whole post this paragraph that he posted, basically just hating on Kevin Durant. You know, it's going to sound crazy when I say this, but it was just straight being mean. And I know some people hear that and think to themselves, oh, that's so childish. A word is a word. Understand the definitions of words. Sometimes children just put the most powerful things in the simplest terms because they're not overcomplicating it with things that they've learned in life. They are very simple. They feel it, they see it, they say it. They're not trying to come up with all these weird ass words or convoluted words to help you get to the message. When a kid tell you you are mean, they're not telling you that because, well, some of them will tell you that because you don't give them what they want. But most of the kids that I done been around, when they look at you and say, you mean, I don't want to be around you no more. It's because you legitimately did some mean, hateful shit that made them say, that's not a good vibe. That's not energy that I want to be around. And that's a kid who recognized that. I don't understand what would make a nigga wake up and tweet what this dude tweeted about Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant gave him the energy he wanted because Kevin Durant responded and said, you got fooled by NBA Centel. But it's no way that I could be a person a random person who never met me, never gonna meet me, never gonna have a sit down and have a conversation with me, could talk about me like that in such a way because he don't like that I left a team that he was rooting for, or he don't like that I beat a team that he was rooting for. He can tweet and talk about me like that. And if Kevin Durant respond, he's soft. He in his feelings. Who taught y'all this? ESPN. That's who taught y'all this. Because every time one of the athletes respond, ESPN be like, oh, he being sensitive, he being soft. Even though these niggas on ESPN respond to everything. They respond to every time somebody call an ESPN motherfucker out, they hop on Twitter to respond. Or they hop on their show and raise their octave in their voice to respond. The same script every single, it's a replay at this point. On repeat. Same script for these goofs. And y'all buy into it. Every time. Shame on y'all. All right? But we got some football to get into. Listen, I've been lollygagging for the better part of the beginning of the episode. But we got some things to talk about. I didn't know if I was going to start off with this Cincinnati Bengals New York Giants game. I didn't know if I was going to start off with that Jets game. I didn't know if I was going to start off with the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a long show. I'm going to do everything I can to get these bookmarked. I mean, not bookmarked. To get every section of the show. I can't even think of the I can't think of the word at the moment, but if it pops up in my head, I'll more than likely say it out loud. But I didn't know exactly where I wanted to start today. And you know, it's always an option when you are a Raven fan. I could have started with the Ravens, but I'm not going to do that. I actually want to start with the Jets. So Rob Saleh was just fired. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have no real opinion on Rob Saleh being fired. Did I think he deserved to be fired? Well, that doesn't matter because deserve in the NFL is a loose term. Oftentimes not truly meaning what it's supposed to mean. Oftentimes taking on a different meaning. So, and in a matter of perspective, the perspective is determining who deserves. So, from the perspective of the GM, from the perspective of the owner, it's not from my perspective. I don't make that call. So, I could care less when it comes to that. My thing when it comes to Rob Saleh being fired is what did it. So I understand the people who will say, you know, like Rob Saleh didn't deserve to be fired, yada, yada, yada. And I try to leave emotions out of certain topics. Like, I know you can't leave emotions out of certain topics, but to me, this feel like a topic that really shouldn't have too much emotion being played into it. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Rob Saleh is a good dude. I don't know why people bring that shit up every time when a coach get fired, because that's not what, they don't bring that up every time a player gets fired. But here's my thing. I did say that, you know, if you're a defensive-minded head coach, have a good defense. If you're an offensive-minded head coach, at least have a good offense. So I get both of those. I'm indifferent about them firing Rob Saleh. And this is why. I really feel like the Jets organization is headed nowhere regardless if he is there or not there. It might be a good situation for him to no longer be the head coach of the New York Jets. Go back to being a defensive coordinator, possibly get a new head coaching job in the future, even though I do think it's going to be hard for defensive coordinators to get second opportunities. Especially when defensive coordinators, I think if you're a defensive coordinator that's a head coach, you really gotta have like you gotta be in a good situation like Todd Bowles, because that division's not. They got the Falcons this year, but on a regular basis, that division is not going to be a juggernaut type of division. So, if you're a defensive-minded head coach, get into a division where you can have some longevity, where you can last a little bit. Find you a division where it ain't quarterback heavy. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with them firing Rob Saleh. I'm going to just cut to the chase. I don't think Rob was a bad coach, but I also don't know what made him I'm not going to tell you he was a bad coach, but I also can't sit here and tell you he was a great head coach, because I couldn't tell you one thing that he did that made them a better team. Actually, I take that back. He was a good defensive-minded head coach in the sense of his defense was usually good. What did that do for the Jets? Him being great at calling the defense is not his only part of being a head coach. It's not even the most important part. Hell, I wouldn't even think it was a top 5 important part as being a head coach of a football team. The problem with the Jets is not Rob Saleh. And if Rob Saleh had stayed there any longer, he would have been just an scapegoat. The Jets fucked this thing up when they decided we're not going to go rebuild or try to go into the draft and try to get a quarterback that we feel like could work with this. We're not going to get off of Zach Wilson, basically. We're going to ride this Zach Wilson train, even though we know it ain't taking us nowhere. Not only are we not going to move off of the Zach Wilson train, just like the Chicago Bears didn't move off of the Justin Fields train, even though they did get 2 different opportunities to move off of them. So that's a little bit different. But you don't move off of the Zach Wilson train, and then you put all you ever heard when they was like, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. And then you got the goofy memes where it'd be like, I put all my eggs in this one basket. No, I definitely put all my eggs in this one. That's these dudes. That's the Jets. They put all their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket. I remember when they was asked about the Lamar Jackson, like, is Lamar Jackson not an option for you guys? No, we really want Aaron Rodgers. We feel like Aaron Rodgers at that time was pushing 40, if he wasn't already 40. Lamar Jackson was like 25, 26. 2-time MVP. But you wanted to move forward with Aaron Rodgers. Now, I couldn't determine at that time if it was racist, ignorance, stupidity. So I just said it was all those things. And so I just really have no type of care for the Jets organization. See, I'm at the point in my life where when a team show you who they are and how they run their program, believe them. Believe them. The Jets could have went and got Lamar Jackson. They could have put together a package to try to bring over Lamar Jackson. They could have attempted to try to get Lamar Jackson, the younger player who they would have a future with. Instead, they went for Aaron Rodgers, a dude who more than likely would have been retired right now if he didn't get hurt last year. That's who the Jets chose to put their faith in. When you are an organization that continuously makes stupid ass decisions, because to me, I don't care how you try to paint it, going after Aaron Rodgers instead of Lamar was a stupid ass decision. If you are one of those people that's consistently hating on Lamar Jackson, then I'm not talking to you, because it's no talking to you. But if you are a football fan with a brain, with some type of common sense, in what world would you try to build your organization around a 40-plus-year-old quarterback who haven't been to a Super Bowl in nearly a decade plus, has not won a play, has not been he don't won a playoff game, but I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. Because he hasn't really been a legitimate threat in the playoffs over the last couple years, because that's where he done struggled at. He put up all these gaudy stats in the regular season and turned into a different quarterback in the playoffs. And it's not even that he turned into a different quarterback. It's that Aaron Rodgers does not want to take chances to throw interceptions and fuck his stats up. That's what it looked like for a long time, his back end of Green Bay. And then on top of that, you look at the fact that Aaron Rodgers did not look great his last year in Green Bay. But that's who the Packers wanted to build the franchise around. That's who they wanted to bring over. They had no time for Lamar Jackson, the younger guy, the one that would have made more sense. They wanted Aaron Rodgers, the 40-plus-year-old. Oh, was saying you don't got to give up anything for Aaron Rodgers. They traded for him. In my mind, Aaron Rodgers was not coming off of an MVP season. He wasn't coming off of being one of the best quarterbacks in the league that year. If you were objectively looking at Aaron Rodgers, you would know he was starting to enter his downslide. Jets didn't care nothing about that. And so now you see the Jets in the position that they are in. The Jets gave far too much power to Aaron Rodgers, allowing him to bring Nathaniel Hackett over, allowing him to get you to sign all his homies from Green Bay, except for the one that actually made the difference. Listen, you get what you give. You continuously put out stupidity, that's what you get in return. To me, the Jets are a stupid organization. It's as simple as that. And it's funny to say that, because the Jets used to be, for a while, a respectable organization when I was coming up with Rex Ryan. You know, when I was in high school, they had Rex Ryan, Antonio Cromartie, Darrelle Revis. I know Mark Sanchez wasn't. I know we all remember him for the butt fumble now, but coming out of USC, Mark Sanchez was straight for the Jets. Like, the Jets, Rex Ryan, you know, his latter years at the Jets, we don't remember him too fondly, but they haven't had that type of stability since Rex. Could you imagine if they had gave Rex some more time? But because clearly Rex was meant to be a head coach of the New York Jets, if it wasn't for the Ravens. But yeah, it was some things Rex wasn't great at. But I mean, I thought Rex, to me, the biggest problem with Rex came when the roster just was no longer good enough, and they kept trying to put it on Rex Ryan. Like, he don't got a quarterback, he don't got a run game, his best players are aging or leaving. Like, to me, Rex probably should still be a head coach right now. I think Rex got an ugly little shake at this thing, especially when we see the guys who get Rex Ryan. Biggest issues were some of the issues we see with guys now. And the guys now continue to get opportunities, and they continue to get not only multiple opportunities, but they get like elongated opportunities. Because I'm be completely honest with y'all. A lot of people be saying that Mike Tomlin, how great a head coach he is and whatnot. I can almost guarantee you when you ask most normal people, what is it that Mike Tomlin, when you watch the Steelers, what is it that Mike Tomlin does that makes him such a great head coach? Most people couldn't tell you. Most people couldn't tell you. With Rex Ryan, you knew for 100% fact, oh yeah, he's a great DC defensive mind. I understand his lack of game management at times, clock management, the overall understanding that you are the head coach, not just the DC. But, you know, you gave Rex I don't think Rex was a terrible head coach. Now, that could be hindsight, but I don't think Rex was a terrible head coach. I just thought he was a head coach that. But you're not gonna convince me Rex was terrible when Dan Campbell is a head coach right now that people are calling a phenomenal head coach. So two different ends of the spectrum right there, buddy. You're not gonna convince me that Rex is bad if I gotta sit here and believe that Dan Campbell is great. And prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson, man. Jesus Christ, he is definitely gonna miss the rest of the season. A compound fracture in his lower ankle leg area. So I don't even know if I said that injury right, but I'm going to describe it to you. I'm not going to post a picture of it. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to post a clip of it. That's not going to happen. What I want to take you back to is, but if you want to go look it up yourself, you can. I saw a play where he got a sack on a play basically, and the way his leg whipped around and hit this dude, bro, what's so scary. I used to fear this shit all the time when I was a fighter, bro, because I kicked a lot. I used my legs a lot. I did a lot of kicking because the training that I did was more so, it wasn't more so, it was kickboxing. And so a lot of us kickboxing ass niggas like to kick. And one of the problems that I always, it wasn't something that I thought about until my later years. But once you done so much kicking, you do feel like, man, I might be wearing those bones down in that area of that leg, right? And it's just that one check that somebody gets you with one time. Or it don't even got to necessarily be a check. You could just kick the wrong part of somebody's leg. Or your shit could just be to that point where one more kick and it's a wrap. And when that thing split, we done seen it with Connor. We done seen it with Chris Weidman. We done seen it with Anderson Silva. When that lower part of that leg break and snap like that, Connor stepped on his shit. Like, he broke his shit and then stepped on it. So, prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson. I hope he is the same fighter. Same fighter. I hope he the same player he was before. He was starting to become a fucking stud, man. He was already a stud, but he was about to become that boy. Like, I talk about Aiden Hutchinson over the last couple of years a lot because I kept saying I think he's the best player on the Lions. But you look at his first year, then his second, then Aiden Hutchinson's a stud. He was well on his way to being Max Crosby 2.0. Just the absolute game wrecker, play breaker, momentum fuck upper. Like, he was well on his way. Well on his way. So prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That is just a devastating injury. I hope he can come back from that 100%. Most of these fighters don't come back from that leg injury great. Connor still haven't came back and fought after that leg injury. Chris Weidman looked like he was limping around the ring, the octagon the entire time when he came back from that injury. And the dude kicked him clean in that shit, and he didn't like it. So, but this is the NFL, not the UFC. Motherfuckers actually get paid in the NFL. So the treatment and the things like that, I imagine the NFL I don't know these things for sure, but I would imagine Aiden gonna be in better hands than a UFC fighter. I'm just gonna go on a limb and guess that Aiden should be better than these UFC fighters. But, you know, I hope he recovered from that gruesome injury. When you saw his leg whip around into his own homie's knee or shin, Jesus Christ. And then you saw oh my God. And then his homeboy almost landed on it. Like, sat down on the shit. Now, somebody said yesterday, I was watching different things. Somebody was like, a bone could have been sticking out of his leg. Yeah, I didn't see that. And I done seen this injury a couple times. The only time I ever seen somebody have a bone come out of their leg with this is a long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember this. Louisville. When Louisville played, it was the basketball team. I think his name was Kevin Ware. I can't remember his name, but this happened when I was in high school. A dude for Louisville. This was the first time I had ever seen that type of injury where his bone came through his leg. He broke his shit like they broke theirs, like he landed on it wrong, like Paul George. I don't think Paul George had a bone go through his leg, but he might have had a bone. Actually, I think Paul George had a bone go through his shit too. I could just be seeing things. You know what they say if you can't remember something, but then you try to remember it, you might force yourself to remember it, some shit like that. Kevin Ware, one of them motherfuckers had the bone go through their leg, which was fucking disgusting. Imagine coming back from that. This is why I'm so hard on Klay Thompson, man. This is exactly why I'm so hard on Klay Thompson. Paul George came back from that and is just as great a player. Klay Thompson, I'm not comparing injuries. I'm just saying what I am comparing is work ethic. And if you think, and listen, this is not my place, but I'm just using observation skills. If you think Klay Thompson worked anywhere near as hard as this nigga, Paul George, to get back from the injuries that they suffered, one player looked better than he did before the injury. The other player is a shell of his former self. That's all I'm going to say. But the Jets, you know, when you allow Aaron Rodgers to run your organization, this is what you get. To be completely honest, if I was the Jets, I would start all over. I would let Aaron Rodgers go at the end of the season. I would not trade for Devontae Adams. That would make no sense. I would probably trade away Garrett Wilson to keep it a buck with you, because this is the thing with the Jets. You're about to give Sauce Gardner a big contract. You done had a great defense over the last couple years, but what has that defense been good for you for? Because you ain't been competing for shit but last place or second to last in your division. You ain't really been competing for nothing serious. We don't know if they're going to be in the in the playoffs this year. So you've been paying money for a great defense, for a phenomenal defense that probably won't be the same defense that it used to be because you just got rid of the defensive head coach. So I would have to imagine that some of Salah's influence is leaving. But on top of that, you got to pay these guys. They done been great for you. For what? To me, if the Jets are a serious team, it's time to start emptying that pantry. I don't know if you trade Sauce Gardner, but I'm going to be honest with you. I would probably trade Sauce before I traded Garrett Wilson. And this is why. In the grand scheme of things, having a lockdown corner does nothing for the Jets right now. It just is what it is. As great as I think Sauce Gardner is, he is not adding any more wins to the Jets ledger that they don't already have. That is just the reality. The package that you could get right now for a Sauce Gardner would be crazy. The Ravens would give up a first round pick right now for Sauce Gardner. Because the Ravens know they're drafting in the back end of the draft and they won't find a Sauce Gardner at that spot. The Chiefs will more than likely give up a first. I don't know too many teams that wouldn't give up a lot for Sauce right now. And those is assets that the Jets need. Like, the Jets are not a piece away. That's why I keep getting irritated when people say, well, you know, they get Devontae. This is going to be up. Why do you think that? That's just a receiver. I don't think that the Packers, I don't think that the Jets are a Super Bowl contending team. And I think the longer that you continue to waste your time, like the Saints, like the Raiders, where you should have started a rebuild by now, but you just keep prolonging it and picking up these make-a-wish pieces. And you find yourselves in the situations that these teams are in. To me, it's time for a rebuild with the Jets. A legitimate rebuild to build into the future. You are competing against Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud. The plethora of quarterbacks in this conference. You cannot be okay with a 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And then who comes after him? You have no plans for after Aaron Rodgers. You have no immediate plans after Aaron Rodgers. This is why the Salah firing is hard for me to give a damn. Because the coaching is so far and away one of the least of my concerns when it comes to the Jets. Yeah, we could play this game of, well, you know, the coach probably going to get fired. He on the hot seat if he don't do this, if he don't. I don't care about that. When it comes to this team, there's so many more issues than the head coach, which is why I didn't care about the Antonio Pierce hiring last year for the Raiders. The Raiders have so many issues outside of head coach that any head coach right now probably will not get the results that he is looking for because the team is so under-talented. Like, the Raiders need talent. The Raiders should have sold off Devontae and Max Crosby and didn't do either of the two. Now, they might be doing that this year. They should have done it last year. I kept getting on here every fucking episode saying, the Raiders need to trade Max Crosby. The Raiders need to trade Max Crosby. The Raiders need to trade Devontae. The Raiders need to trade Josh Jacobs. They didn't even trade Josh. They let him get to a contract year, put a tag on him, let him walk. Marks of a dumbass franchise. Devontae, who should have been traded last year, you're now going to trade him with his value. And the reports are that nobody even want to give up a second round pick for Devontae. So you fucked yourself in that. Now, the guy who has, for the past, 2-3 years, had the highest trade value on your team, and it's not even close, is Max Crosby. Still in his prime. Just entered his prime, really. Young. You know exactly what you're getting from him. He is not just a pass rusher. He is a game wrecker. He can get to the quarterback. He can fuck up the play in the backfield. He can stop the run. There's so many things that Max Crosby can do. He should not be on this team. He shouldn't have been on this team to start the year. I didn't know, last year when the Raiders and Raider fans was talking about the plans and everything, I kept listening to those plans and I kept listening and I was saying to myself the whole time, I don't understand. And what about these plans would make me want to bring Crosby back though? Like nothing that I heard, nothing that I saw made sense to me. Oh, we got Antonio Pierce now. We made these draft picks. Okay, what does that do to make your team better for the future now? And why is Crosby still on this fucking team? And then they went and signed Christian Wilkins. These are just things that dumbass teams do because they got money. What does Christian do for this team? You already had Max Crosby, the better pass rusher. And Wilkins play interior. He don't play outside. He plays interior of the line. So that's not the same as if you had a TJ and it's not even fair to say TJ because TJ don't even play on the line. But it's completely different if I had Myles Garrett on one side, Crosby on the other. That's not the same as Miles Wilkes or Crosby Wilkes. And furthermore, I understand why Wilkes would go there. They was offering him the biggest bag. I don't understand why they would be offering him the biggest bag. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a running back. By season's end, you probably won't have a receiver either. Look at this team. Name what player on the defensive side of the ball, not named Max Crosby, do you think, not named Wilkins because I just told you a name, name the best player on that defense? In the secondary, and as far as the all three levels, secondary, the defensive line, the middle of the field with the linebackers. Who is the player that is a standout player to you? This is why the Raiders to me are a joke. And this is why I really started the show talking about the Raiders and the Jets, because I knew it was going to take me a little minute to get through them because, my thoughts when it comes to those two organizations, and don't The Saints are in it also. The Saints got their ass beat yesterday also, and I'm going to get to the Saints in a few, but I don't know what it is about these franchises that make them not want to push on and try to be better. The owners just like collecting these checks at this point. That's what it is to me. Because at the end of the day, I don't know why you fire Rob Saleh. What does that solve? What does that get you closer to that you were not close to before? Nothing. So, interesting tactic. Now, briefly, I want to talk about the Sunday night football game because, I was watching. My disdain for Dan Orlovsky could not be explained. I cannot explain to y'all how much I do not like this nigga. I was saying it last year, and I always try to be nice and give these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt at times. I try not, because, sometimes I be like, man, saying you just being too, nah. I don't like these niggas. I don't like Marcus Spears. I don't like Ryan Clark. I don't like Stephen A. Smith. I don't like Dan Orlovsky. I hate they takes. I don't like them as human beings because some of the things that they say and the way that they argue things shows me the exact type of people they are, especially when I see them go to bat for niggas that they fuck with. That's telling me exactly everything I need to know. You're not as stupid as you try to make yourself out to be. You just really don't give a damn about certain things and you keep getting on TV lying. And see, I got a big problem with that part. That lying part that people keep letting these niggas on ESPN and Fox get away with. Yeah, that's done ran its course with me. This is why I barely listen or watching it. I could be sitting down, and if one of them shows pop on and they say even one thing I don't like, I turn the channel. I don't even give them time to hear them out. I'm so desensitized to the idiocy in the sports media, I don't even have the time. Ryan Clark said that Jaden Daniels is already a better thrower of the football. Now, I got a question for y'all. When was the last time we debated Tom Brady and Peyton Manning's arms? Because when they were playing in their prime, I don't remember us ever debating who was the better thrower of the football. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. I never heard people comparing their arms to one another. Once we accepted that they were all good throwers of the football, we didn't constantly say, well, Drew Brees can't yoink that thing like Brett Favre. No, we let them be quarterbacks. We let them be quarterbacks. So for the life of me, I cannot understand why this goofy ass nigga Ryan Clark continues to get on TV and find new ways to coon it up for the white man. Him and Marcus Spears, really. See, I be trying to be. I think it was because of how funny and how nice and warm Michael Spears give off that type of impression like he a good dude. He a hoe ass nigga also. Because he done said some things that I really don't like either. And some of the things he done said to me. See, Ryan Clark just says a bunch of stupid shit. And this is further proof that just because you played the game don't mean you know the game. Don't mean you should be talking the game. Okay? Ryan Clark should stick to the pivot where he trying to be a pseudo therapist and shit. All right? That's what he need to stick to. Because this talking football shit is not for him. Clearly. He cannot be, he does not know how to take his bias out when it comes to LSU guys. He does not know how to take his bias out when it comes to guys he likes. And he just straight up don't know what the fuck he talking about. He could break down a scheme for you all day. When was the last time somebody breaking down a scheme in football terms helped the average nigga understand the game? It might help them understand that scheme. But when a motherfucker trying to learn the game, most of the time he not asking you about all the play calls, the name of the play calls. No. Ryan Clark is not, bruh, I was finna say some real disrespectful shit. Ryan Clark is not some Einstein ass nigga. And he is not some super conscious, super woke ass nigga. What he is super fucking annoying. He wear a whole bunch of ridiculous looking, people be talking about the shit Cam Newton be wearing. But anyways, Ryan Clark is annoying as shit. And I'm getting sick and tired of niggas getting on TV talking the way Ryan Clark talked, and then hopping on Twitter on Sunday and having to backtrack everything he said because everything he said during the week was fucking stupid. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this nigga responding to fans on Twitter like, oh, woe is me. I'm the victim. Y'all misunderstand what I said. No, hoe ass nigga. I wish that ESPN will force these niggas to say, I'm not talking from the perspective of, and if y'all couldn't tell, I'm upset. I wish ESPN would tell these niggas, you are not speaking from the perspective of a sports analyst. You are legitimately being biased. So how about you just go out there and say, I'm being biased. Joe Burrow, went to LSU. So I'm going to give Joe Burrow the benefit of the doubt over Lamar Jackson. Jaden Daniels went to LSU. So I'm going to gloat over Jaden Daniels. You want to know what I find very funny? Everything these running quarterbacks and whatnot can do. Everybody is the next Lamar Jackson. Everybody is better than Lamar Jackson. Till it's time to play Lamar Jackson. Because the only player that's consistently been able to say he can beat a Lamar Jackson-led team is Patrick Mahomes. That's it. That's it. That's the only one who every time he play Lamar, I'm probably going to take Pat. Every other player, I'm taking Lamar. But see, the media allows, and this is my biggest problem with ESPN, Fox, and these media shows and these sports shows and networks. I'm not telling you that you should stop people from having opinions. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But to allow your workers to just go out there and spew some of the stupidest shit on TV. Lamar Jackson is already a Hall of Fame quarterback. You got niggas getting on TV questioning, can he pass the fucking ball? Joe Burrow is a dink and dunk merchant when Jamar Chase and T. Higgins not balling out. I never hear nobody complain about that. Excuse me. Yesterday, Marcus Spears tweeted Derrick Henry for MVP, and I said, how? Derrick Henry done been the same player his whole career. He ain't never been able to do what he did until he got Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is what's changing this thing for Derrick Henry. And yes, Lamar finally having a player that he ain't got to make better, that can make him better, that's 100% going to help. But I never saw us penalize all these other great players who had great players around them. Matter of fact, what we doing right now, what the media doing right now, oh, Josh ain't got no help. Wait a minute. When he had Diggs, I didn't hear Lamar Jackson didn't have help. When Tyreek was running around over there with Travis Kelce and Pat, I didn't hear Lamar Jackson ain't got help. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Mike Gesicki are all pro-level players. I have yet to hear anybody say Lamar Jackson ain't had weapons like that. So it's a problem when he get Derrick Henry and now everybody want to dick ride. Oh, Derrick Henry MVP, Derrick Henry MVP. But you never see that. Look at what Jamar Chase has done for what Jamar Chase and T. Higgins really have done for Joe Burrow. I ain't heard not one time people give them the credit for Joe Burrow. Even though that's exactly where the credit should be. I ain't seen nobody do that yet. Lamar Jackson ain't played with all pro level receiver yet. Zay is a hell of a receiver right now. Bateman having a hell of a start to this season. He ain't played with no all pros. But they critique him. When Josh Allen don't make a throw, they let him down. I just had to watch Dan Orlovsky continuously go to bat. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about Dan Orlovsky no more. Because where I'm at right now when it comes to Dan Orlovsky, I dead ass could fight this nigga if I saw him in the streets. Saint, you getting that mad over a take? It's not the take, bro. I'm addicted to hate and stupidity. And everything that's coming out of Dan's fucking mouth right now is stupid to me. The fact that a 1-4 Cincinnati Bengals team is a team that you still think is the best team in the AFC North. That is clearly white bias going on. The fact that you think after they beat the Giants barely last night, 10-7, if you want to give the Bengals that 17 because of the last score at the end of the game when they was trying to run out the clock and the Giants defense couldn't stop the clock anymore and they just gave up that last session, sure. That's an offense that just put up 10 points against the New York Giants. Dan was hopeful after seeing that. He was optimistic after seeing that. Let Lamar Jackson and the Ravens had a struggle to beat the Giants. I promise you there would be no optimism. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens lost week 1 and 2, and teams still media still bring that up. guys, and the reason I say these dudes' names is not for clout. It's not for nothing. Oh, before I forget, it's a YouTube channel. And I'm not telling y'all to go hate on this nigga or nothing, but I just want to put this out there. There is a YouTube channel called Julian W Sports. Now, this nigga is a bitch. I just want him to know that. And if he ever hear this, or you ever got a fan that I want somebody to tell you that I think you are a bitch. And this is why. For one, my nigga, you whack. You use Colin Cowherd's clips to get yourself views. That's one thing y'all never gonna see me do. I don't care how fast it would help me. I am not finna be taking ESPN clips and all these other type of clips and from other channels and put them on my videos so I can gain a whole bunch of fake fans and fake views. That's whack. That's first off, buddy. You act like you reacting to these things when really you're not. You're listening to it like everybody else, and you're using those clips to get you views because you know people go on YouTube to look up these sports shows because they don't sit down and actually watch them when they come on. So what you did, Julian W Sports, and I hope they copyright your bitch ass, and I hope you ain't making no money off these videos because you, my guy, are a bitch and you don't know ball. And I'm tired of niggas like you that specifically look like you too, sitting down in front of mics and talking. For one, I don't like that you using Fox Sports shit to get views. That's corny right there. That should show you that you not about what you think you about. You not solid like you think you is. The shit that's coming out of your mouth don't heat. It's not moving the streets like you think it is. Because them 2K views and shit like that do not come from you, my nigga. That come from Colin. You need to go thank Colin. And I hope that nigga sends you a cease and desist, fuck boy. And while I'm thinking about it, hey, happy birthday, fuck nigga. I'm talking to you, Jerry. That's what they put belts to ass yesterday, fuck nigga. Now back to this nigga, Julian W Sports. You are a bitch. Like I done said, like for the 5th, 6th time. This nigga, his opinions on Lamar, and for one, the dude might as well be racist the way he talk about Lamar. He might as well just be Nick Wright, actually. The nigga sit there with a smile and be talking like he know what he talking about. This is why I don't like sports channels on YouTube, my guy. This is why a lot of sports, I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I was looking at some sports channels on YouTube, and as bad as these shits were, I realize now why a lot of these pro athletes, why they get all the views on their dumbass podcasts. Because while some of these podcasts from these athletes are terrible, nigga, this nigga Julian W Sports, my guy. How about you go make a video, my nigga? How about you put together a legitimate video? Don't pop on your webcam and record yourself and then try to use footage from a whole different show, my nigga. Put together your own show. Talk about your own shit. Put together your own opinions. They some dumbass opinions, and I don't think you're gonna get a lot of views off of them dumbass opinions. But what I'm gonna tell you to do is this. Just go all out on hating on Lamar Jackson, because that's gonna get you the type of fan base that you want. A bunch of racists and coons who hate black people, who hate black quarterbacks, who gather around to say a bunch of stupid shit. Go do that. If you follow me, if you somebody who check out my channel, I'm telling you right now, if you value, for one, if you watching me, you gotta value the real, because need I say more? Listen. It's no joking matter, my guys. Listen. If you come across Julian W Sports on YouTube, now he gonna fool you. You gonna have to read the channel name because it's gonna fool you. You gonna think that you finna click on an FS1 show like Colin Cowherd or something. But really it's gonna be him reacting to it, and it's not even necessarily reaction because you don't need that on the screen to react to it. You could have listened to it before the video and then got on the show, your video, and then started talking about it. But you did that because you want the views. It's as simple as that. It's no loyalty. It's no honesty in this game, ladies and gentlemen. These niggas don't care about sports. If you go listen to what he was saying, not only did his shit sound fucking stupid and like he didn't know what he was talking about, it was no passion in the shit he was saying. There was no knowledge in the shit he was saying. He was regurgitating shit he done seen other niggas say. And this is who people choose to place their faith. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. But back to this fuck nigga Dan Orlovsky, bro. This nigga took the Bengals as the best. For one, like I said, if the Bengals just barely beat the Giants. They got a lot of bad teams coming up. Dan Orlovsky keep getting on TV talking about I got faith in the Bengals. The Bengals going to be one of them teams. Bro, just because your white ass keep trying to talk up a bad team is not going to change how we feel. For one, you keep saying they barely lost to Baltimore. I did not know, and this is a big thing in the media now since a lot of white people taking over the media. Before, we dealt in what happened, not what could have happened. Dan Orlovsky continues every week to say, well, they could have won this game and they could have won this game. And if this, but my nigga, they didn't win those games. Why don't we deal with what happened, not what your white ass wanted to happen? And people keep wondering why I get irritated with white people in the media. This is why. I've been not liking this nigga Dan Orlovsky for about 3 years. But everybody just thought, oh, Saint, man, he just a hater. He don't like when people critique Lamar Jackson. Nigga, I critique Lamar Jackson. So why would I get mad when other niggas do it? That's not the problem. The problem is a lot of you niggas is retarded. Oh, see. I'm upset just about to start having a trigger warning at the beginning of it. Because the way I'm throwing around that R word when I get upset. You see, the upset portions didn't have enough passion. So I had to start talking about things that actually piss me the fuck off. Like Dan or fucking Lofsky. But I want to take a break from Dan for a quick second. And I want to talk about something else that's starting to upset me. Brandon fucking Stevens. The Baltimore cornerback. Now I get on this motherfucker and talk about Brandon Stevens damn near every week. But at this point, and it's so hard to judge this nigga right now because I really don't know how to judge him. In a sense of, I know the nigga not bad, but the nigga definitely ain't good. And my problem with him right now is if this nigga could get his head around just for a second, he would probably lead the league in interceptions. But his ball skills are some of the worst ball skills I have ever seen in my lifetime. I have never seen a guy who can stick with his man like Brandon Stevens can at times and still get beat. Brandon Stevens damn near give you no room for separation when he guarding you. That's how good he can stay with somebody. But when the ball gets into the air, he forget how to play cornerback. I have never in my life seen a cornerback win and lose so much on the same play. You win because you right there with him every step. You lose because you just let him catch Brandon Stevens give away some of the craziest catches I've ever seen. And it's on him. This is not old receivers making great catches. This is not quarterbacks making unbelievable throws. No. Brandon Stevens would probably have 10 interceptions at this point in the season if he could learn to get his head around and play the ball and not keep playing the person. This is why I get irritated every time I talk about Brandon Stevens and people say, oh, Saint, he really the best corner. No, he's not. He's nowhere near as good as Marlon Humphrey. Nowhere near. And that's probably what irritated me about this because Brandon Stevens this year, yeah, he good at sticking with guys. It's just he is so bad at getting his head around. It's unreal. It's actually unreal. I'm starting to think he do the shit on purpose. Okay? And every week, every time a quarterback need a play, they go to Brandon Stevens' side. Every time a team need to make a play, they go to Brandon Stevens' side. That's not a coincidence. That's not an accident. The quarterbacks and the offensive coordinators are telling you exactly how they feel about the Ravens secondary and who is the weakest link in said secondary. And it's not just about to go with Brandon Stevens. Marcus Williams should not be on an NFL field right now. Marcus, I defended you for 2 years, my nigga. For 2 fucking years, I defended you, bruh. Kept defending you. Kept saying, oh yeah, Marcus Williams, man. I don't know why people be hating on him. He playing good right now. You are the worst rated safety in football right now. Dead ass last. The plays that you are giving up. The fact that you continuously get caught flat-footed. You a safety, my nigga. And you ain't protecting shit. We are not safe with you back there. I don't understand it. To be completely honest with you, I don't understand it, because Marcus Williams used to be so great. It's quick how your heroes fade. Now, Marcus Williams was never at no point in time one of my heroes, but it's just a shame to see how a great player got so bad so quick. Now, Marcus Williams didn't really get bad quick. He'd been in the league for a little minute. But to see him have one good year with Baltimore and then the rest go to hell like Earl Thomas is a hell of a thing. And I would advise Baltimore to stop signing safeties off the fucking free agent market after they done played 10 plus fucking years with a team, so you can get the last good year they got in the tank. How about going for somebody like a Jesse Bates? You know, I got a lot of respect for Jesse Bates. I got a lot of respect and love for Jesse Bates. You see, Jesse Bates was a great player with Cincinnati, but then the Cincinnati Bengals wouldn't pay him. Then they franchise tagged him. And then Jesse Bates said, you know what? Shit, I'm not one of the best safeties no more this year. Shit. And then he got to the Falcons. And you know what he said? I'm back to being one of the best. I respect the fuck out of that. I really do. And I even respect teams more for understanding. Because this is what irritates me with teams. This is why I say collusion is a big thing in the NFL. If you franchise tag a great player and his next year he don't play great, you know why he didn't play great that next year. He got no type of security behind him. You know why Micah Parsons not going to deal with all his injuries and play through them this year. You know why. So why would you hold his next contract when he get to another team as if, oh, well, you know, we saw your last season. Nigga, you saw that team not pay me either, fuck nigga. I'm going to be honest with y'all. The word nigga is going to be used on this show going forward. I'm not censoring myself from saying that word anymore. I'm probably going to censor it a little bit because I still, you know, we still want to get mainstream and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to tell y'all right now, when we go mainstream, this show is always going to be on the channel, but it's probably going to get pushed back to the back burner. Like, for all my loyalists who I know going to rock with Saint till the wheels fall off, this show ain't never going nowhere. This show going to get the sponsors and all that. But because of how vulgar and how blunt the show is, because I don't really want to change. Nope. Let me not say that. I'll change up anything for $1 million. We get that $1 million. We changing some things up. Hen, I'm telling you right now, we changing some things up when we make that bread. That damn dude, we changing some things up when we make that. Kurt, we changing some things up. All my loyals. If I did not say your name, don't worry. I'm gonna do a segment next episode where I say your name, because there's some dudes who've been rocking with me, and I don't like that if I forgot your name right now. But it's not because I forgot your name. It just didn't pop up in my head the way these other ones was popping up on the roll. So when it come time for us to make some bread, you best believe we gonna pivot like Ryan Clark, whole ass. You know, we might not be able to start calling people hoes and bitches and stuff like that no more, but you do believe when somebody say something stupid on TV that we don't like, we will be calling them out on that. But I do want to get back to this Bengals game. The Bengals defense played a hell of a game this week, huh? Because from what I was told, the Bengals defense it's not good. They're going to give up 30 plus a game, even though, like I said, they got multiple stops in that Baltimore game. And I tell y'all on this channel all the time, you don't have to have a great defense to win a Super Bowl. You don't even have to have a good one. You just have to have a complimentary defense that can play in spots. Because, you see, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell y'all this. Being great for a whole game is overrated. Okay? If I play against Daniel Jones, you damn right I expect my defense to be good against Daniel Jones for an entire game. That's Daniel Jones. When I'm playing against Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, a prolific offense like the Lions, I can't expect my defense to be great for an entire game. That's unrealistic. Those other niggas get paid too. As simple as that. Hell, I told y'all before we even played the Bengals, Jamar Chase is going to score. And he's going to have a big play. You know, before I finish this thought, I'm glad I just thought about this. And obviously we done left the I'm upset segment, but we could re-enter it later on in the show because I didn't get all my thoughts out. But because I was getting so many people had made me at Marcus Williams, Brandon Stevens, but Dan Orlovsky, like, I want to say so. Actually, you know what? Listen. Where was the offense this week? Where was that offense for Cincinnati this week? Because, all I heard last week, the offense scored this many points. Well, the defense gave up 7 points. You don't think they would have liked the offense to put more points on the board? But it's going to be some white guy to hop up and say, well, finally the defense did something for Burrow. Huh. So it's not Burrow didn't help his defense tonight. It's the defense finally did something for Burrow, even though defense got multiple stops in that Ravens game to try to win them that game. But when you're playing against Daniel Jones, quarterbacks of that caliber, I don't expect the defense to get a stop. I expect the defense to be great. When you're playing Lamar, Mahomes, the greats, your defense not going to get a stop every fucking time. You just need them to get stops at the right time, at the most important times, where we need to get this team off the field. I need you to get them off the field. It's as simple as that. You don't need a great defense. I was watching Nightcap last night, a part of Nightcap, and somebody was like, you can't win a Super Bowl if you don't have all three great. Somebody was like, you got to have a great defense, a great offense, and a great secondary. A great special teams to win a Super Bowl. And Chad Johnson was like, no, you don't. And then Shannon Sharp was like, no, you don't. And I've been telling y'all, no, you don't for a while. Matter of fact, one of the very first messages that I tried to drill into y'all brains on this show was, you don't need a great defense. You don't even need a great offense. You need complementary football. And what do I mean when I say complementary football? As long as you come through, if your offense scores, your defense cannot go down and immediately let the other team score, like the Ravens like to do so often. That's what I mean when I say you don't have to have a great defense. The Ravens were a great defense last year. The Ravens had a good defense the year before that. You know how uncomplimentary that team used to play, how uncomplimentary the Ravens defense plays football at times? I seen the Ravens offense go put up 40 points on the board. And then I saw the defense give up damn near 40 and a half in quick recession to the Dolphins. So I'm not trying to hear, we need an elite defense. No. You need your defense to come through when you need them the most. You don't need a 20-sack game. I done seen the Titans sack Joe Burrow like 7 times and still lost that game. You want to know why? Because they didn't get the sacks that actually mattered. You don't need some otherworldly defense. You just need to get stops when they matter. Shout out to the Giants last night. What a game. Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence. I wish I could remember this other dude. As a matter of fact, I really wish I could remember this other dude's name. The Giants had a dude last night who was going nuts. And the fact that I cannot remember his name is such a disservice to him. Hold up. Because I'm going to try to look up his name. I cannot remember this dude's name. I'm looking at the things right. I'm not going to find it right now. That is such a shame because this dude played. Brian Burns had a hell of a game last night. I'm going to tell you something. The Giants, after watching that game, I don't know what made me think of this. After watching that game, the Giants are not as bad a team as people might think. They just need a quarterback. They clearly need a quarterback. Daniel Jones is not that guy. I've been saying that for a while, though. You don't need bifocals to know that Daniel Jones is not that guy. But the defense ain't the problem. The defense, the way that they just held Cincinnati to 10 fucking points, the defense ain't the problem. I do get irritated when I see defenses play this good and basically they have no reward for it because like I said, the Jets ain't competing for shit over the last couple years with that great defense. Neither are the Giants. The Giants almost have a recreation of the NASCAR defense that they had back in the day when they had Eli. When it was Justin Tuck, O.C. Umenyiora, Michael Strahan, and JPP. They basically got that level. I mean, Tibbs didn't play last night, Thibodeau, but you got Thibodeau. You got the dude who was making all the plays last night, whose name is eluding me right now. You got Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. Like, this Giants team is not a bad team. They done definitely gotten better on the defensive side of the ball since the last time, since that playoff run a couple years ago. Like, the Giants have a pretty stout defense. And I think they got, I don't really know. I don't think the pieces on offense is that bad. I think it's the quarterback. I think the quarterback is just terrible. Daniel Jones, for one, you got to run simple plays for him. Like, the fact that they run so many crossers and slants, I mean, they do the same thing in Cincinnati, but he just got the type of receivers that can consistently, that are always open. The play calling in New York is really, it leave a lot to be desired, but I understand why Brian Daboll would call the game the way he called it, because Daniel Jones is your quarterback. You really can't have that much. Like, people always be like, man, you need some more creativity in the offense. Daniel Jones is my quarterback. Too much creativity gonna end up having 4 turnovers in this game. Also, last night was the first time the Giants done scored at home. That is crazy. Every sign say Daniel Jones should not have gotten that extension and should not still be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not trying to go at Daniel Jones after last night or anything like that, but I'm not breaking any news to you. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. He's definitely not a franchise quarterback. So the fact that a white dude can be that average and still get a contract extension, and Lamar Jackson can revive a franchise, win MVP unanimous, and have to work the way he did to get his contract extension, had to threaten that he was going to leave the Ravens because the Ravens did not want to pay that man what he rightfully deserved. And I still think he was underpaid. And the Ravens can't say that, well, you know, Lamar, we really want to build a team. That's why we didn't give him you don't use that money on anything that could, I mean, you finally got him Derrick Henry. But before that, when he wasn't on a big contract, you did not sign one elite level player on that offense. You didn't bring in Derrick Henry on his rookie when Lamar was a rookie. You didn't bring in some all-star receiver when Lamar was a rookie. I'm confused. I don't know why people don't call out these organizations for shit like that, especially when you look at the fact that all these other organizations put teams around. Look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did with Jalen Hurts on his rookie contract. Look at all the talent they put around him. Brock Purdy in San Fran. Texans with CJ Stroud. And then you got these idiot-ass Panthers, who instead of putting stuff around Bryce Young, they bring in a head coach that benches him. I cannot begin to tell you how annoying it is watching the Carolina Panthers had some tough-ass unis on yesterday. But the fact that Andy Dalton is still starting when this team is like 1-5 makes no sense to me. Makes absolutely no sense. And this is exactly why this franchise will continue to be fucking ass. I told you that it was the Cam Newton curse because they did not have to do Cam Newton the way they did Cam Newton. Not only that, I don't care how much you don't like Cam Newton, because I understand that when you talk about certain quarterbacks, it's just going to be a group of white people that immediately talk crazy about a quarterback that they wouldn't say about a different quarterback. And it's only because they don't like a quarterback for whatever reason. I don't like the way Cam dressed. I don't like the way he carried himself. How does he carry himself in a negative way? Just say you don't like black people and black culture and move on. Dead ass. But when I'm looking at Cam and I'm looking at hold up, I just got distracted again. I'm just not a Rocket League type of nigga, bro. I see a lot of people play Rocket League. I don't play soccer games. I don't play race car games. That's like a combination of both. It's not really a race, but it's a combination. It look nice, though. I be watching people. I don't watch people play it, but if RDC is playing it, I might watch it. Put it like that. All right. But back to the topic that we were talking about. Damn, I done forgot what I was talking about. It was Cam Newton and something else. Hold up. Give me a minute. Let me think. I was comparing Cam to something. I was saying if Cam had done something. Hold up. I can't remember, but I feel like I was going to make a great point, and I'm kind of mad that I can't remember that point that I was about to make. Cam Newton just got hired on First Take, by the way. Now that Cam Newton on the show, I don't really know why we would bring Dan Orlovsky back on there. I don't know why we need his insight anymore now that a real quarterback done entered the room, but that's just me. I really want to remember what I was just saying because I felt like what I was about to say was going to be some heat. It was something about Cam, and I know it had to be with a white quarterback. Can't remember it. We'll get back to it eventually if we remember it. But what other game do I want to go over? Because we done talked Jets. We done talked. Let me see. Baker midfield. That ass is ours next week, boy. Pause. I've been waiting for this game, nigga. I've been waiting for this game, nigga. Ain't no game on the schedule that got me up like playing y'all niggas. And if y'all beat us next week, oh my God, you couldn't even imagine how mad I'm gonna be. But I don't see that happening, Baker. You see, a lot of people might be scared. They be like, oh, Baker then just put up 57 points. Y'all did it to the Saints. The Saints had Spencer Ratliff starting. Baker threw 3 interceptions. I do not give a fuck about all them extra yards he threw for. However, you do have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. My concern is Mike Evans more so than Chris Godwin, even though, yeah, they're going to have to do something with the Marcus Williams should not be on the field, and you definitely should not have Kyle Hamilton playing in the box every fucking play when he is. That's one of the things that Zach, see, I'm fucking upset again. Zach fucking Orr. Yo, I'm done. This nigga should be fired. I don't like saying people should be fired and things like that. Zach Orr clearly is not ready to be a defensive coordinator. And I think it's franchise malpractice to keep him on as your DC just so he can learn to become a good DC, just so he can grow into the role. These grown-ass men paid to try to be great in a certain amount of time. They ain't got time for him to develop into a role or grow into a great defensive coordinator. There's defensive coordinators out there who are better than him that could have came in and done far more for the Ravens defense right now than he is doing. For one, his pass defense concepts just make no sense. He is dead last in the NFL in passing defense for a reason. Because the concepts are god-awful. The concepts are god-awful. You look at these plays. Niggas is running wide open. Soon as the plays start, dudes get wide open. Bad alignment. Too much press. Too much playing off. Don't know when to press. Don't know when to play off. It seemed like every time you need to press, he play off. Every time you need to play off, he press. Zach Orr might be one of the worst first-year defensive coordinators I've ever seen. I'm starting to get Urban Meyer vibes, and I love Zach Orr, but dog, I cannot be biased. I got to keep it a buck with you. Zach Orr I haven't seen too many DCs come in and be this bad. And mind you, the Ravens defense was first last year. First. They are nowhere near what they were last year, and they got a lot of the same pieces. And I don't want to hear, oh, they ain't got Geno, they ain't got Patrick Queen. Both of them niggas is rated as 2 of the worst at their positions right now. So I'm not trying to hear that. They do not miss either of those 2 players. If anything, those 2 players miss them. Like I was saying. Zach Orr. Nigga lucky I ain't the coach. Because he would have been fired after the game. I cannot sit back and continue to watch this shit. And people continue to look at it as in, oh, well, look at the scoreboard. Well, you really in for a rude awakening by season's end, because that's exactly how you lose important games late in the season. By saying shit like, oh, well, you know, they didn't do this, or this team usually averaged this many points. We held them. No. That's why I wasn't impressed with the Josh Allen win. Josh Allen ain't got weapons. That was a gimme game for you. If you had to let Josh Allen go crazy in that game, you should have been fired after that. because he had no weapons in order to go off. But then when I look at what you let T. Higgins and them boys, and I understand that Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and them boys, Jamar Chase, usually have a good game against the Ravens. Not like what they just did. Last time T. Higgins did, Chase did something like that is when damn near the whole defense was hurt. Defense wasn't hurt this week. Defense wasn't hurt last week. Defensive coordinator wasn't hurt last week. Their best players wasn't hurt last week. I keep seeing Roquan Smith get these passionate speeches before the game and then go out there and look bad. Roquan looked bad at times too this year. And I don't put that on Roquan at all. But look at what his defense is not doing anything to help Roquan. If anything, I would say Roquan looks far. Roquan don't even look like an all-pro middle linebacker to me right now. He don't look like the best middle linebacker in football right now. You know he a top 2 middle linebacker, but he don't look like it. And I don't put that on him. He is consistently trying to overcompensate for being put in bad positions by Zach Orr. I don't know when these niggas gonna call Zach Orr and his bad play calling out. Just go watch the Ravens defense. These are just bad formations, bad play calls, bad decision making. And when the coach don't help you put you in good position, you probably not gonna put yourself in good position either. Nate Wiggins going 1-on-1 with it was like 3rd and 20 something. You send a zero blitz with Nate Wiggins, a rookie, running side by side on a solo, knowing that they can call pass interference, knowing that he is not in a position yet where he is ready to take that on, and you still put him in that position. I didn't even get mad at Nate. I got mad at Zach Orr. And of course, like the Ravens, celebrating, even though we just picked up a flag. Because we're unaware. We're unserious. This defense is the Achilles heel of the Ravens. I think they've always been the problem with the Ravens, other than the Ravens' problems like not having receivers, not having a running back. But for the most part, when the offense is going, it's the defense that let them down. It's very rare that the offense lets the defense down. That's a big misconception with the Ravens, that the sports media who don't watch the games, they want to keep telling y'all that, oh, well, the defense did this. The defense. No. The defense did their job. They have never carried Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, for the majority of his career, if not all of it, has carried every person on this fucking team. Does not make me being Lamar biased. That's me telling you the truth. Just like if the Chiefs take away Mahomes, does it matter how good that defense is? Does it matter how good Travis Kelce is? This is not a Joe Burrow is better because Chase and Higgins situation. This is not that. Well, that's just me. But my irritation just grows more and more every week with Zach Orr. Because it's very clear he should not be the defensive coordinator for this team. He just brought in DPs to help him. My one problem with John Harbaugh is he's just so nice. It's just too, in my head, I'm trying to be nice. And I can't even bring myself to say no nice shit. Because to me, being nice is lying in this situation. Because it ain't no niceness I could bring that would not have me have fired Zach Orr right now. I'm dead ass serious. And I understand some people might be like, well, that's too quick. It would have been just too quick, man. Because what I've seen from this Ravens defense last year to this year can't happen. Cannot happen. The plays that this Ravens defense continues to give up, the fact that in the passing game, they are dead ass last, and they look like they should be even worse than that if it were possible. They give a big play after big play. Cleveland's defense, I used to tell y'all, you can believe that every single game, they gonna give up a big play that makes no sense whatsoever. The Ravens are worse than that. The Ravens are gonna give up multiple big plays a game. And it's not going to be out of nowhere. Like, damn, they've been playing great the whole game. How did it? No. They'll probably play good the first quarter. And then they'll get back to being the Ravens secondary the rest of the game. The Ravens defense is so bad right now that I just do not believe a team can go into any place, even if you're at home in Baltimore, and expect to win every game by putting up 30 plus points over every single team. Because it's just not going to happen. At some point in time, the defense is going to have to actually be able to stop people without Lamar Jackson giving them the lead all the time. The defense is going to have to get off the field. The defense is going to have to stop committing stupid ass penalties. Brandon Stevens and Marcus Williams shouldn't even be on the fucking field. Brandon Stevens, I'm up in the air on still. Because like I said, he is literally footstep for footstep with most of these niggas. Just got the worst, but nope. My mind is decided. I would not have this nigga on the field. The way he give up catches is insane. He probably done gave about 10 touchdowns on the season. Man, some niggas don't give up 10 touchdowns in a career. This nigga probably got 10 touchdowns given up on him so far this season. And I didn't mean in a career. Some niggas don't give up 10 touchdowns in a season. He probably done got 10 touchdowns given up on him already. And we ain't even halfway through the fucking season. But Saint is a hater. I don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Where we want to touch on next? Because the Monday night episode going to be pretty long, too. Because we got a lot to talk about for week 1. Because I still got to talk about the 49ers and the Seahawks. But, to close out the show, we're going to talk about something that I actually was going to start the show with, but I changed my mind. I probably would have started the show with it if I had known the show was going to go so long. The Dallas Cowboys. Belt to ass. Hey, happy birthday, fuck nigga. Yeah, Jerry. Happy birthday, fuck nigga. Listen. Saints world is always going to root against Jerry Jones. Racist ass old prick. We never going to support Jerry. I do not like that nigga. From the moment he told them players, if you kneel for that flag, your ass is grass. Nigga, who the fuck is you? And that's probably why I don't like Cowboy players for the most part, or the ones who play for that team. Because I understand you want to make money. If Jerry Jones fined you or did something like that to you because you kneeled, you could have sued him. You could have done. It was in your right to do something against him for punishing you for kneeling. You know that. So the fact that so many of these greasy head ass, coon ass niggas was forced into submission by Massa in 2020, whatever the fuck year it was, is still mind-boggling to me. That niggas act like they don't have a choice to stand up for themselves. Now, it's very easy for somebody to yell, well, Saint, you not in their position. You would not have done it either. I'd be damned. Let me be a DeMarcus Lawrence, knowing I got options. You think I'm finna shit on my color, on my people for this old white hack? It's a problem. Too many of you niggas ain't got no self-pride. I ain't telling you to go out there and hate white people. I am telling you to go out there and hate racist white people. I'm 100% telling you that. 100% telling you that. You got me. But, where do I start with Dak? This week he couldn't do the little thing he does at the end of the game where he pad them stats and have y'all the goofy ass niggas get on TV talking about some, this loss really isn't on Dak. I had to watch this stupid nigga, Dez Bryant. I'm at the point where I'm damn near wish he shut the fuck up tweeting. I want y'all to understand something. I can hear, it's a high school up the street from me. I can hear everything they saying into that announcer thing in my backyard at my house. I just want to put in perspective for you how fucking loud it is when the announcers at the high school get on that PA thing or whatever during the football games and start talking. It gets so loud I can hear these niggas in my backyard while I'm sitting in my house. So, there's that. But back to belts to asses. The Detroit Lions put their foots all the way in Dallas's ass, which I pretty much expected. I had no faith in Dallas going into that game. And I'm going to tell you what's funny. People talking about how Detroit has no respect for Dallas because they tried to run a hook and ladder to Penei Sewell. They ran a flea flicker, I think it was, to no. Penei Sewell, bro, what is the name of their tight end? They backup tight end because no. Hutchinson is not Hutchinson. I'm tripping, bro. The Lions did a lot of nut shit at the end of that game when they was beating the dog shit out of Dallas. They ran multiple plays for offensive linemen. They had an offensive lineman out there running routes, bro. They really don't fuck with the Cowboys. I respect that level of disrespect. I really do. I'm beating your ass to them. That clock hit 0. Dead ass. I don't care if I like you. I'm trying to put my foot so far down your ass that you never forget this ass whooping I hand to you. That's my mindset. When I used to play Madden and I'm up by like 30 something, I don't then say to myself, you know what, let this dude score to catch up. No. I then say to myself, well, I better win by 60. If it's one person on God's green earth who love it when motherfuckers run it up, oh, it's Saint. Saint ain't gonna never get tired of a nigga running up the score. You came to stop me. You couldn't. You need to feel this. See, if you feel this ass whooping right here, you might never be put in this position again. This might change your heart. This might change your life. You might feel this ass whooping and say, I never want to feel that again. I'm going to change something. Today, I'm going to change something. That's what you should have did. You should have changed something. Because the ass whooping that happened Sunday to Dallas, Lord have mercy. Now, I wonder, do Dak fans, especially the one who I was talking to a couple weeks ago who wanted to say a bunch of that stupid shit to me on Twitter, how do you feel now? Because now you can't go on Twitter and say, well, this ain't on Dak. Like, you know, Dez Bryant trying to say, oh, if you think it's on Dak, you don't know about. Shut up. Shut up. Tired of y'all NFL niggas thinking y'all know more than everybody else because y'all played the sport. That's not the case. Most of you niggas know less because you didn't study the sport. You just played your position. And I'm tired of sitting around acting like just because you play wide receiver, that means you know everything about DB. You know everything about quarterback. You know everything about... No, fuck nigga. You know a lot about your position. Hey, when athletes start, man, I'm trying to tell you, there need to be some type of epidemic where niggas start telling athletes to shut the fuck up when they say stupid shit. I'm telling you. Y'all be telling the wrong athletes to shut up. But anyways, Dallas got what they deserved. Jerry Jones said that they couldn't afford Derrick Henry. We know that's cap. You can afford anybody you want. Jerry Jones just didn't want to pay Derrick Henry. But I couldn't imagine what Derrick Henry would be doing for that team right now. Dak clearly needs a run game. He is not a quarterback. I know they like to throw the ball in Dallas. But do they really like throwing the ball, or are they just a team that can play from behind? I mean, that plays from ahead, and they like to throw the ball because they playing from ahead already with CD and all the different weapons. Mind you, things are starting to shift a little bit. The things that I was telling you 2-3 years ago, you got to remember, it's swiftly changing because now you got a Jordan Love. Now you got a Caleb Williams. Now you got a Jaden McDaniels. Things are swiftly changing in the NFC. Not only that, the Dak's not getting better. Dak is still not a guy who can go into a Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen type of building and win. But worse than that, because it'd be one thing if you couldn't beat an opposing great quarterback. The only good team that Dak play good is the Eagles. And that's probably because he played them twice a year. Aside from that, he don't play the Seahawks good. I mean, he don't play the 49ers good. He don't play any other good teams good in that division or in that conference. He just got his ass beat. And, you know, this thing where people keep saying, well, you know, everybody on on Dallas is hurt. I remember a couple years ago when Lamar Jackson had the Ravens at first in the AFC with damn near his entire team hurt. I remember that. I didn't see anybody giving Lamar Jackson credit. I didn't see anybody saying, well, Lamar doing this with a banged up roster over all the good players on the roster hurt. Lamar is just carrying his team. Lamar has shown time and time again he is an actual generational talent who can lift all the boats in the sea, in the ocean, as has Mahomes. But I got to watch niggas compare Lamar to Dak Prescott, a nigga who can't do half of what Lamar can do, then played with more talent than Lamar. I also think it's funny how Lamar's starting to have more talent this year than some of these other quarterbacks, and all I hear is now is, oh, well, this person ain't got talent around him. This person ain't got this. He ain't got that. Where was that when Lamar didn't have help? Because y'all was quick to get on TV and say, oh, no, Lamar got to be better. Lamar got to be better. Lamar got to be better. I didn't never hear Mark Andrews got to be better. The Ravens front office need to go get him weapons. They should be better. I didn't hear that. I just kept hearing y'all blame Lamar. When Marquise Brown, because we don't call that nigga Hollywood on this channel. When Marquise Brown played against the Lions and was dropping catch after catch after catch after catch, I didn't hear Marquise need to be better. I heard Lamar got to be better. It was even niggas picking apart the throws. Throws is hitting Marquise right in the hands. You still got people who'll get on TV and talk about the Ravens run game. The Ravens run game. What are you talking about? Lamar Jackson is dominating with his arm, and y'all still want to say run game, run game, run game. It's because you want to see Lamar as one type of player because it scares you. Because he better than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. But white people not comfortable with that. They're not comfortable with the two best quarterbacks in the NFL being black men. No, sir. Why you think they always putting Josh Allen and Burrow in that conversation? Neither of them are as accomplished as Lamar and Mahomes. But somehow, both of them are consistently in that conversation, or God forbid when white people throw them over those two. It's interesting. But Dallas, I told you what season you were going to have. And to really bring it home for you guys on the type of season. I told you at the beginning of the season. Until Dak can prove to me that he can beat good quarterbacks and good teams, I told you, this could get spooky for y'all quick. Well, it's already spooky, but it's about to get a little bit spookier because you see, Dallas is about to enter the bye week. Let me read off to you the next opponents that Dallas will play. 49ers, Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Giants, Bengals. All I saw was one win in that. Possibly two. More than likely one. And even now, if the Giants can bring the defense that they brought and Daniel Jones hit some fucking throws, they could lose that game too. That's not even the rest of the season for y'all. That's just the next 7 games. Dallas isn't making the playoffs. Dallas is going to finish the season under 500. Things have changed in the NFC. The days of playing all them sorry-ass teams, the Giants sorry twice, playing them twice a year, the Washington Commanders being ass, playing them twice a year, then getting to play against the Bears who sucked, the Vikings who probably was having a down year. That's no longer happening. The Vikings are undefeated right now. I do not think the Vikings are a top 3 team in the NFL, but they are undefeated in the NFC. The Lions are there. The Niners. The whole NFC, what division is not South? I think it's the North. The entire NFC North is above 500. The Lions above 500. The Bears above 500. And we're going to talk about the Bears on the next show tonight. But the Bears above 500. The Vikings above 500. The Lions, the Bears, the Vikings. Wait a minute. Lions, Bears, Vikings, Packers. All 3 of the teams are above 500 by multiple games. So that's going to be an interesting division. This is why I said Dallas ain't making the playoffs. It was another team who I said ain't making the playoffs too. Probably going to say the Seahawks, but I just don't want to give away my Seahawk content before the show tonight. It's another team, not the Seahawks, so I can get that away right now. Because full disclosure, I had recorded my Seahawks episode already, but the file got corrupted. So that's why I'm trying not to say nothing about the Seahawks. Because I already know what I'm going to say about the Seahawks. I just didn't feel like re-saying all that shit again. So I'm just going to save them for the next show. Hold up. Give me a second. That's who it was. The Eagles. I don't have any faith in the Eagles at the Eagles. I'm fully convinced. My guy who didn't have any faith in Jalen Hurts. I think my Alabama bias done wore off, man. Jalen Hurts did have a great game yesterday, a good game yesterday. I know how it started. People was talking crazy, but you want to know what I think it is? My expectations of Jalen Hurts are not my expectations of Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, because he's not that type of quarterback. While I acknowledge Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, I still think Jalen Hurts is more of the Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, the quarterbacks over there in that division. That's who he closest to me. The only quarterbacks in the NFC that remind me anything of the quarterback talent that's in the AFC is, like I said before, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels. That's it. Is nobody else over there. But I think Dallas and the Eagles could miss the playoffs. Because when you look at that other division in the NFC with all those teams over 5, that's 4 teams. All 4 of them teams could end up making the playoffs. It just would be every single wild card would be in that division. Matter of fact, can the whole division make it? I think it's 3 wild cards, if I'm remembering correctly, because I already know the top team will make it. The next 3 teams, I do believe if they keep this up, I do believe that this entire division can make the playoffs. I think that is very possible. That would be crazy. That would absolutely be crazy. Not unseen, but crazy. I mean, the baseball division almost did that shit this year. The Phillies made it. The Phillies. Fuck the Phillies, bro. I'm not talking baseball. I hate the Phillies so much. Them niggas make me hate baseball. Shout out to Mookie Betts and Shohei and the Dodgers, yo. Keeping my faith in baseball alive. Because I am never in my life, and I mean this from the bottom of my fucking heart, I am never rooting for the fucking Phillies again until they are actually in the World Series. I am no longer wasting my energy, my time with the fucking Phillies. I pray that Zach Wheeler end up getting him a Cy Young, and I hope that he end up getting traded to the Dodgers because he deserves so much better than the sorry-ass Phillies done giving him the last 3 years of his career. I have never seen a pitcher. I take that back. I ain't seen a pitcher get hold like this by his own team since Jacob deGrom. It feel like the Mets team was working hand in hand with the other team to beat Jacob deGrom. It's almost like they sat back and said, this nigga is just too good. We don't even like it. That's what it feel like when it comes to the Phillies, when it comes to Zach Wheeler. The Phillies do everything in their power to make sure Zach Wheeler is not successful. That's what it feel like. They go above and beyond to fuck Zach Wheeler at every turn. You cannot convince me otherwise. I hate baseball. Anyways, Dallas. It's not looking good for you. It's not. Quarterback don't look good. Dak Prescott love turning that ball over in the red zone, I see. That's becoming like second nature to him. Turning the ball over in the red zone. Now, last week, I was told I shouldn't pay too much attention to the turnovers because Dak was missing this player and that player. He went into a hostile environment and he just picked up a big win. And I said, now if Lamar had went into that environment, picked up the win the exact same way Dak had with them exact stats, nobody would have cared that they won. Niggas would have been roasting Lamar. Some reason, and I'm talking about Cowboy fans right now. Some reason, Cowboy fans thought that was acceptable to beat a team that can barely score. To barely beat them like that. Now, I understand. Some of you might be saying, well, Saint, Dallas is so ass right now. Any team we beat should be impressive. I could agree with that if y'all stop hyping up Dak. That's the only way I could agree. Because if Dak is who y'all say he is, he should still be getting his team in position to win these games. I seen Joe Burrow do it. I mean, not Joe Burrow. I seen Lamar and Pat do it. So, what's the excuse? Anyways, when we're back tonight, we will have a conversation. Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence. We got to have a dialogue. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I'm just fucking with you. Thank you for joining on an episode of the recap. I just wanted to say that for some reason. I don't know why. It was in my soul. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the recap. Tell somebody you fuck with and tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in this world. So please, please, please choose to be kind to somebody today. You never know what somebody going through. Throw them a smile. It could do a lot. It could do wonders. That being said, I fuck with you. I love you. Like, subscribe, share. Say now.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna bring up race in this battle. Well, that was a white lie.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing a bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.